CVGT is a provider of services to some of Australia's most vulnerable people in the disability sector, the unemployment sector and the justice sector. And we also support group training with apprentices and traineeships.
We have about 119 sites, and over that we service thousands of participants. CVGT employ around 450 employees, I reckon was the last mark I saw. We are continuing to grow even in the next financial year, which will see us expand our operations in 5 different regions throughout Victoria.
So when we were scoping out our decision to switch accounting systems, we wanted one that met our business needs, which is a medium-sized business. We looked at some larger packages, but they weren't in our price structure and they didn't have that ability to grow with our needs. And that's where Wiise came to the picture.
So being a not-for-profit, we obviously have to monitor our expenses quite carefully in lines with our policy. So having a finance system / purchase order system that has really strong controls around ensuring that there's no manipulation was very important to us. Now with Wiise, all of our sites can log on, raise a purchase order and know that the system will ensure that there is a proper approval process in place. They understand that the purchase order system is our finance system, so there's no risk of loss of data between when a manager approves a purchase order by the time it makes it through to finance for us to process. The Wiise layout, which is very similar to the Microsoft Word and Excel layout, really helps the employees. The screens are more intuitive than a typical finance system or a purchase order system, so it really helps guide and makes things a lot easier in the learning process for all of our staff. Another important aspect was the reporting side of things. So with Wiise, we are able to service our 60-odd managers with their profit and loss statements per month, which is a lot easier than what it used to be.
We have over 180 different cost code centres and we had to run those on an individual basis. The use of Wiise has streamlined that process and allows us to provide the managers with live update of their financial reporting. So with Wiise, we have the option of enhancing the system. It's an out-of-the-box package, but it has that ability for us to make those enhancements to meet our needs as we go. A key example there is we needed individual delegation limits entered. We also needed the cost codes as well as program codes entered. So we needed those 2 dimensions which other software companies couldn't provide.
Wiise has helped CVGT as a company be better prepared for the future. We can't see any boundaries anywhere in sight where, based on our number of users or number of purchase orders, number of invoices, number of payments, there doesn't seem to be any roof or any limits in Wiise as far as we can see. The main benefit with Wiise is giving us access to real-time information to help us make more accurate decisions on a timely basis. So previously it would take 10 to 15 business days at the end of each month for the managers to get an accurate report. However, with the use of Wiise, they're able to run their P&Ls at any time and they can get a true, accurate reflection of where they stand financially. On a conservative basis, we've probably saved days worth of productivity throughout the finance team on a normal week, just through the connectivity between the finance system and the purchase order system. And for our month-end reporting, we've probably been able to shave a couple of days off just in terms of the turnaround times of journals, month-end reconciliations, mass producing reports, sending them out to all the managers, whereas now all our managers are set up, they can run their own reports, they have access to the lifetime data.
If we were still on our old accounting system, there's no way we would have been able to cope with the increased demand. We've gone from the mid 200 employees to over 400 in a 12-month period. And the old system, we would have needed double the amount of hands on deck to facilitate the finance.
There's no doubt in my mind we wouldn't be able to keep up with our current demand or current workload if we were still in our old system. So Wiise has definitely helped us through the expansion and even the most recent eWorks merger.
Wiise has been a great advancement in our financial reporting and our systems. It's provided clear line of sight transparency and clarity around some of our reporting. It's allowed us to be more efficient in the data, the management side of things. From a governance perspective, it's allowed us to put controls and mechanisms in place which is consistent with empowering and delegating accountability, but at the same time making sure that we've got information security and robust security systems internally. And it's allowed us to do some analysis and some trend analysis at a time where we've got massive growth. We've over doubled the number of employees, we've expanded our geographic footprint, and we've acquired a company. And so to do all of those things in the time that we've done them has been a huge effort, and we couldn't have done it without Wiise.